Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of TV is Our Real Mom. I'm Dave, and my co-host Katie is with me as well. Wow, I really botched the opener today. Wow.
It's okay.
It's like totally scripted. I get it right every time, but it's bound to
Slipped your
mess.
mind tonight.
That's Katie. There's Katie
Hey,
over
I'm
there.
Katie.
And yeah, we're here to talk Survivor as usual every Wednesday or Thursday night. We recap the episode, and tonight we're gonna recap episode 5. What'd you think, Katie? What'd you think of the episode?
What did I think? No, I liked it. I thought it was a good episode. I thought there was I like these characters a lot, so there's really no downside for me. It was a pretty explosive tribal council, and I didn't understand why afterwards people were all up in arms against Chrissy, and they're all celebrating Roarke like she was this robbed goddess. And I'm like, excuse me, who are we talking about? Like, why did Roarke get robbed, and why was Chrissy more catty, is the word that's being thrown around, than anybody else that was at that tribal council? Because I didn't see it. I mean,
I didn't know that was the sentiment out there.
Well, on Twitter, everybody was like, Ryan, that's the biggest mistake. You just lost the game. And I'm like, who knew there was such love in the community for Roarke, someone who was completely invisible until tonight?
Yeah, I don't get it. I had no idea that this was the reaction from people, because in my head,
I took you by surprise just now.
Yeah, you did. I didn't know. Granted, watching the episode and finally getting to see some of Roarke, I was kind of disappointed to lose her, because you really got the sense now that she was a super fan, like a super duper fan. Like the way she talks about stuff, especially her, after she got voted out, her little speech there, like how she, she was just so poised, and like she just said, like, any super fan that wants to try it out, try it out sometime. Go like it's just like some like thing you go try being on the TV show Survivor. It's I don't know how to explain it. She just really came off as like someone who is just like a huge fan of the show, who just happened to like get on this cast somehow.
She just kind of stumbled upon it. Was like, hey, I think I'll try this out.
Like when we get some beach talk stuff, she's talking about, I love a 3-2 split or whatever she said. I love a what's
a 3-2 vote? 3-2, like a tribe that's 3 against 2.
The way she worded it, it's like she's gone over this in her head a million times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's definitely. We didn't see that on the show, but if you listen to preseason stuff, you knew that that's the kind of person she was. She had this whole plan for what to do if there was a tie at tribal council and the game changers rule was still in effect and they went straight to rocks. She had this whole plan worked out, but we didn't see that on the show, and you have to go by the show. This girl was not long for this game. We didn't see her. It makes me worry for Desi the same, because even though she was an integral part of what happened last week, we still barely saw her tonight or heard her reaction about what happened. So it sucks to read into the edit, but you can't help but do that. When it was Chrissy versus Roarke, I was like, Roarke is toast. There's no way Chrissy's going home tonight.
Yeah, it's true, man. Like the story is never told from Desi's point of view. So like, what makes you think that we're ever supposed to root for Desi?
Yeah, we don't hear from her at all. I mean, this week we heard a lot about how she's a beast in challenges, and that could come to play a role if she makes the merge, but I'm just saying she's Roarke-like right now, and that she's only there as a supporting player. She's like an extra.
Yeah. So yeah, point being that I'm only disappointed to lose Roarke, because in this episode we finally got to see how much of a super fan she is, and it seemed like she really had her head in the game, and she really had ideas, and she was going to play a big game when she got the chance. So so when you frame it like that, I guess I can see that most of the vocal people out there are the Survivor super fans, and they're probably seeing one of their own in this situation. And
I guess so.
But
I'm just saying, I don't think either of them, Roarke or Chrissy, handled it well, but I don't see why one is being, burned at the stake and one is being hailed as a, victim of some crime.
Well, is it because that like Chrissy kind of got like sort of
Miss Smarty Pants?
Yeah, like she got vindictive about it, started, as soon as she didn't get her way.
Well,
she starts calling her like, I outsmarted Miss Smarty Pants and
yeah, but let me say that
I'm smarter than you, all this stuff.
The tribal council, they went in on Chrissy, and it was Allie who started it. Allie went in on her first, and then Roarke joined in. And if they hadn't ganged up on her like that and given away the farm right at the beginning of tribal council, then this probably wouldn't have happened. And Chrissy is not the kind of passive person who's just going to sit there and be like, oh, I guess it's me. She's going to fight back. And we usually like to see that. But I don't understand why this reaction has been the way it is. She was fighting to stay in the game. And I also want to say that during that challenge, she said several times, does somebody want to take over for me? I can't do it. And they would just be like, get on the beam, push her out of the way and do it. It's not, this is your life on the line. Do it.
No, it's true. She did say that. That wasn't a lie. Like, we all clearly saw that she asked several times if someone wanted to take her place. Granted, I think their best move was to let Chrissy keep going, because if you put someone,
use it as an excuse.
No, if you put someone new on the balance beam to do the thing, they have to go through the whole learning curve. Chrissy's your best chance, even though she was failing at it. Putting someone else on there, they have to learn how to do it on the spot. Mm-hmm. Chrissy's already had 3 shots on it, so by the 3rd time or 4th time.
But if the time it takes her to get back on the beam, it doesn't matter what she knows. Like, someone else can probably learn it just as quick.
Maybe. I'm just saying that's my take on it. Is I think I like that you let her keep trying, because she's your best chance.
Well, then if that's her decision, why are you going to come at her right away in tribal council? And I don't know. And then whole thing. I
don't think that's really why they wanted her out. Like, Allie's soundbite is, I want Chrissy out because she sucked at the balance beam. But I don't think that's like the real reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't like how Allie, this is a knock on Allie's game, which has been pretty good up to this point, but I don't like how when she's at tribal council, she's not trying to hide what she's going to do. Like at the Patrick vote, I was like, she's being really obvious against Patrick, so maybe she's trying to trick people. But no, she was just being really obvious about wanting Patrick out. And tonight she did the same thing with Chrissy. And I don't think you should do that.
I agree. I think that is a knock against Allie. It's something that you do notice right away in this tribal council is there's no bones about like who's voting for who. The only person who kept things close to the chest was Ryan. And it's weird because like if you just look at things on the surface, like Allie comes at Chrissy and then Roarke comes at Chrissy. Mm-hmm. And so if you're just not thinking about it, you're like, oh, it looks like Chrissy's going home. But you're like, wait a second, that's only 2 people. So where's the 3rd guy going? No one's thinking.
He wasn't coming for anyone.
Yeah, and so obviously we see Ryan made the decision to go, with that side. It didn't matter that 2 people wanted her out. You got to have 3. If 3 people come at her, then she knows she's in trouble. But she knew she had Ryan locked up. It was no question. She was confident the whole time. That's why she's like, I outsmarted Miss Smarty Pants. Past tense, she knew how it was going down.
She did, but let's tone down the phrasing we're using, Miss Smarty Pants. But you know what? Roarke just has that kind of smug face and attitude that makes you want to like be that way towards her. Yeah, maybe that's just me, but I felt kind of the same.
I agree. I think she brings it on herself a little bit. Let's talk about Ryan's decision here. A lot of people. I don't know if a lot of people do, but I think there's
most people on right afterwards.
There's a sentiment out there that they don't like Ryan's decision. Why can't I say decision?
His decision.
Decision. Ryan's decision.
I want to come at those.
I don't mind it.
No, I don't
mind it. I don't mind the move.
Let's compare the moves, okay? If he went with Roarke and Allie, apparently he sensed that he was losing Allie to Roarke already. And first of all, I question Allie's decision to go with the healers just because they have numbers. What do you think they're going to do? Choose you over each other? They're 6 strong still, and you just want to jump on board with them, and then you want Ryan to jump on board with you, that puts him at 8. That does not put him in a good spot. And on the other hand, if he votes Roarke out, he gets to keep Chrissy and you, Allie, and he has some damage control to do with you, but you're both still there. And he will have the opportunity to do that. Who knows if it'll work or not. But this is a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, I mean, granted, Allie doesn't know that Chrissy is one of Ryan's allies yet. I mean, she will know very soon. But exactly. Ryan, if he votes out Chrissy, he loses one of his allies.
He loses a crucial cog. Like, Chrissy could connect him to Ben, who maybe opens up other things. So I don't know.
Yeah, and you'd rather kind of get this like ragtag heroes hustlers team together than try to team up with the healers when they're all still there. Yeah, so it makes way more sense. And yeah, exactly. Chrissy and Allie, if you vote out Roarke, she's not one of his allies. You get to keep both of your allies.
And hope that the healers invite you in for the time being. Like, that's right. A plan.
Yeah, and granted, yes, the way he did it is questionable, and will he be able to salvage his relationship with Allie? Like, did he end up losing an ally in Allie through the way it was executed? That's yet to be seen. But you have to believe that, this is my best move. I'm going to roll the dice this way, and I'm going to try to get Allie to forgive me, try to explain myself, and then I have Allie and Chrissy, and I'm really kicking ass. So I don't know. I like it. I
don't dislike the move. There may have been an option where he could tell her all about the first day Super Idol and what he did with it, but that's opening a whole can of worms. Like, why didn't you tell me sooner? Blah blah blah. And because if he says he's going with Chrissy, he kind of has to tell her why, and maybe he didn't want to open that can of worms.
Yeah, and I don't blame him for not telling Allie about his intentions, because you don't know, like you said, Ryan is getting the sense that Roarke and Allie are forming this relationship. He could very well believe that Allie's going to turn around and tell Roarke what he wants to do, and then that's what's tricky about Survivor, is you do have to like deceive people, because they can turn around. Everything can come back to bite you in the ass if you tell anybody anything. So he had to play it close to the chest and hope that he could, explain himself later, which is what we see in the preview for next week when they're fighting. It's just them hashing it out. And I don't know. Yeah. It looks like she's crying in the daytime. So I don't know. Even the next day, she's still hurt about it. So that's not good. That's not good.
It's not good, but, it's an individual game. And in my opinion, he did what was best for himself. She was maybe not doing a great job of including Ryan in her thing with Roarke, and maybe Roarke wasn't doing a good job of looping Ryan in. And I think the reason Ryan didn't try to loop Chrissy in, or loop Allie in with Chrissy, was that there was just this immediate sense that Chrissy and Roarke, or Chrissy and Allie, weren't going to work together. And so Ryan just felt torn. And in my opinion, he went with the best move for himself. But
I think so too. I think it's the best he could do with the situation he's in, even though it's a difficult situation and it's going to require some politicking after. Yeah. It's the best thing he could do.
Well, now where is Allie going to go?
Yeah, she's still there, stuck with him, and he has no intention of voting her out. I don't think, as long as
I think he'd get rid of JP. He's the perfect merge and right before Chrissy, merge boot.
And I think we've already gotten enough in the show to tell us, hey, Chrissy's gonna cut JP loose, no problem. She doesn't care.
I don't think anyone cares.
Yeah. How about his performance? Did you enjoy his performance in Tribal Council?
He did say something, didn't he? I don't think he said things like that.
Threw the ball. Jeff passed the ball his way, and he's like, "Yeah, I mean, there's 3 girls up there and 2 guys back here, so it could be an all girls thing, So it makes you worry,
Good job, JP. Good deduction. Like, all Chrissy had to do was just throw that word out there, and immediately he was like, "Oh, no, she got to go."
Yeah, I love that. How quickly he was like, "She's got to go."
He changed his tune in 0.2 seconds when she said that.
Yeah, he's obviously pretty. I remember Ben had that metaphor about the dog with the meat. It was like exactly like that. Like Chrissy pulled out a piece of meat. Hey, look here, JP.
Oh
Look what
yeah,
I got.
okay. I got it.
He's like, oh yeah, meat. You know, I love meat.
Things like that. I
Things
love
like
meat. Yeah, that's JP. He was very
Okay.
JP tonight.
I will say about Rourke though, I do understand where she's coming from with you know, Chrissy only approached her that day when she's in trouble, you know.
Mhm.
So I understand where Rourke's coming from. That is kind of like, it's like, oh, now you want to talk to me? So I totally get her bitterness in that sense.
Right, but Chrissy also made a fair point in that Rourke never tried to talk to her either. So
Yeah,
before
maybe
the whole time.
maybe
I
that's
mean, yes, Chrissy was the one that approached her day of, but the whatever 6 days beforehand, neither made an effort to speak to each other.
yeah, apparently not. So just goes to show you, like, you should form an alliance with everybody.
You should.
But that can bite you in the ass too. There's
well,
really
that's
no
what Ryan
easy.
did, and now look at the position he's in.
Yeah, there's no easy answer.
Yeah, it's a tricky game, Survivor.
It's Survivor. Yeah.
It's tricky.
So, yeah, I think we're good on that whole situation.
I think so. One thing that I thought of though during that tribal council, I think it's agreed Chrissy did not come off that well. But I'm thinking to myself, going back to the beginning of the episode and what we saw from Ben, and that's her number 2 person. If she takes him to the end, lights out. There's no way she has a chance if she's going to turn people off like she did during that tribal council.
Yeah, if it's Ben and Chrissy, I think Ben wins based on if he's able to
based on game or anything, just based on.
Well, that's part of Survivor. I mean,
yeah.
some people use their cause as sort of a method to sway jury votes. You know, that's just part of it.
I don't think that whole I think something authentic happened and Ben had a reaction to it, but I don't think that he's the kind of person who's going to beat home the, oh, I was in the military thing. Like, I don't think that's who he is. The show might try to dwell on it, but...
Well, he needs to if he wants to win, I think.
I think he can win without it.
We'll see.
We'll see, yeah.
I just think
we haven't seen a lot of game from him yet.
Yeah, I just think in a final tribal council jury speech situation, being able to articulate that cause is only going to help him lock it down.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
Yeah. What did you think of that moment with Ben in the episode and how it was portrayed and all that?
I thought it was good. I know a lot of people, perhaps you included, thought, well, there's your winner right there. But to me, I just thought he's going to be a big time player in the season. And this is it was something that happened that day. Like, it wasn't just a montage or something. It was just a reaction. And I think it was a gold mine for the producers to milk some emotion out of this episode.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like you said, it's something that happened. And so, he's obviously emotional about it. And when they get a chance, they're going to interview him and ask him what's on his mind. And, this is great for TV. And it's also, it's one of those cool things about Survivor when like a real human moment sort of intersects with like the TV show. And yeah, so he sort of like shares his thoughts on, how tough it is for, veterans to come back and mesh with, people like us who have no idea what it's like to have people who want to kill you all the time, And I actually really liked it. I thought I like when a real natural human moment happens on Survivor. And it wasn't so like cheesy or anything like that where you can't get behind it. And the only thing I don't like, I guess, is it does feel like it's a given that Ben is going to do very well in the game. Like he's going to be in the finale, Well,
there's a lot of characters who get these moments. And that's not necessarily the case. I mean,
okay, yeah, maybe I'm misremembering things then. Maybe
David Wright comes to mind for me with his whole crying at that one reward challenge or whatever.
But he made the finale.
He did, but he didn't win. I'm just saying winner's edit is probably not what you're seeing here. It's just he's probably going far. I think we've thought that for a while, right?
Yeah, that's all I'm giving him is finale. He's going to make the finale.
Okay, well, you're talking about 6 people. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but anyway, yeah, I don't think it necessarily means he's a winner. I do think it means he's a player in the season. So, for sure. I mean, there's a few you could list off that would be the case for, but I digress.
Since Lauren was the one to go check on Ben, does that mean they're allies, or is that?
I hope so. Lauren is amazing, and I want Lauren to be on for a long time.
She's pretty good. She basically feels the way a lot of people feel about things, I think.
Yeah, Cole in particular.
Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about that. Cole has
apparently gross.
Some bad eating habits, apparently.
Just you can tell that they like enhanced all the like licking of the fingers and like they added in those sound effects just to make it all the more disgusting. Like they do that on Big Brother a lot, but I think they are more sparing on Survivor. But oh, it grossed me out. And I was like, when Lauren was describing him, I was just 100% with her.
Yeah, I just watched that part a little bit ago before we came on here, and I have the headphones in, and I definitely heard them, like, you know, they dubbed in some very specific.
Yeah, they very much enhanced it. But
yeah, they're like just over the top of it, just like those gross sounds. It was terrible. But yeah, it looked like I forget when they won peanut butter and jelly, but it was jars of peanut butter and jelly that he was just cleaning out. Cleaning them out.
Well, part of me was like, after seeing the preview for next week, thinking, I mean, he's a jacked dude. Yeah. He's like, he's got the Garrett thing where he's like, he feels his body like eating itself and he's just trying to fend it off, but it's coming for him.
Yeah, he's got too much muscle to maintain energy levels.
So much muscle.
Yeah, so obviously it's gonna come bite him in the ass. I knew this was coming. I didn't know that he would actually end up like passing out. You know,
he face plants.
Yeah, I think passing out is more common than we realize on Survivor.
Maybe.
We don't always see it. Like, who was it that was talking? There was somebody talking about one season, and I think this was an old school season when things were tougher or whatever, where they talked about like every time they would stand up, they would pass out. Like, and then
how'd they ever get up?
Well, like eventually it would take, and they would be able to stay up. But like seriously, like how far they let things go there, it's just crazy.
Yeah, like there's a reason old time survivors that they don't do that anymore because it's unnecessary to the game.
Yeah, it's just taking things too far now.
It's taking things too far.
Yeah. Anyways.
But yeah, I don't know if Jessica's feelings on Cole are this. I mean, first he goes and blabs all her secrets, and second he's gross. So I think maybe the shine is coming off him a little bit. I hope so. I hope she drifts towards Dr. Mike. They maybe are a pair, and Cole just gets cut out of the picture because he's got to go.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what does this mean? Like the edit he's getting, like they're only showing us that people hate him right now. So like,
I know.
We haven't really gotten anything positive from Cole since he helped Joe find that idol. Like since then, it's been Cole screwing up, and I guess his relationship with Jess, which he's been screwing that up too.
Yeah.
So I just don't know what to think. Like, we can't possibly believe that Cole has any chance in the game, right? Because like, we're not seeing anything good from him.
I wouldn't think so. Yeah. I would have to say no. Because that would be quite a strange edit. I mean, what's her name say? By episode 6, doesn't she usually know who's going to win?
Oh, Angie Kantz.
Yeah. I guess that was episode 5. We got one more episode to go. But if we're going by her thing, Cole has no chance.
I think it's something like episode 6. Yeah, she can determine who the winner is, basically.
Yeah. And my guess
on positive attributes displayed
is that if he passes out in episode 6, whether or not he gets evacuated, I don't think you're looking at a winner.
No. Yeah. Do you suspect a medevac is going to happen, or?
Probably not, because they showed it in the preview, so it's probably just a scare. But I kind of had. I hope so. I don't want him to be hurt, but I hope he leaves the game one way or another.
I think he'll be fine, but yeah, I don't think he's going to do very well in the game.
I don't think so either. I think even Jessica, his main ally, is like over him. So
I know. I really do think what you just said you wanted to happen is already in place. Like she's basically said, okay, I just helped Mike find the idol, and he likes me. I like him. You know, not like that. Not
right,
like the way she
no.
likes Cole. They like each other well enough, and they have this bond over the idol now. And I think you even get a confessional where Jess says, like, I'm looking for ways to bond with Mike. And then they find the idol together. So they're obviously forming a bond. The show wants to show us that they have a bond. And I think this is an opportunity for her to say, Cole, you're at the bottom. If this is a 3-person thing, you're the third one. You're the odd one out now. I mean,
it's just the smart game decision. After the merge, you got to get rid of that boy.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things where a lot of women, young women, go through this where, you know, his eyes are dreamy at first, but then you get to see
handsome.
Yeah, then you get to see the real person after a couple days.
And they become less handsome once you see that real person.
Yeah.
And they just become who they are.
Sorry, Cole. You know, I mean,
hey, he'll be fine. Look at him.
It's just in the game of Survivor, he's doing unattractive things, but I'm sure when he's, you know, helping youth rock climb and overcome their problems, I'm sure he's very attractive in that scenario. But on Survivor, it's not working out for him.
It's not a good look. And do you think that she told Cole about the idol that Mike found?
I wonder. See, I'm guessing Jess is smart enough to leave that up to Mike. I'm sure she, you know, discusses it with Mike and says, hey, Mike, do you think this is something we're going to share with Cole, or would you like to keep this between you and me? And I'm sure she'll honor that up to a certain point too.
And Mike, if he has any brains after what happened last week, will say, we're not telling Cole. Because it will be free knowledge amongst the whole island and other islands by the time we finally merge. So I thought it was funny how Jess basically had the exact same experience that Cole did. Like they were with someone when they found an idol, but they didn't get the idol for themselves. So they have the knowledge. What are they going to do with it?
Yeah, that is funny. It's the same exact scenario.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But Mike's game is definitely looking up.
Looking up?
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, I don't see him having to use the idol anytime soon. But even if
one thing about Cole is he wins those challenges for them. He helps a lot anyway.
Mm-hmm. So if he was in a situation where he needed to use the idol, you know, he has it.
Yeah,
he's probably not going to have to even use it like all season long. You know what I mean?
Perhaps come the merge, when things get a little dicey there at the merge at the beginning.
Who's coming after Mike at the merge?
Well, you know,
everyone's coming after Joe. Joe is going to be public enemy number 1. It's funny too because the tables have turned. You know, like because early game, Mike makes sense as a target, but middle game, Joe. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And especially now that you have Devin from another tribe making Joe his number 1 target.
Well, I think he's his number 1 target on that tribe, but you're probably right. He's probably his number 1 target overall because he has seen firsthand what Joe's capable of. And
exactly. I think Devin, for better or worse, will come for Joe at the merge.
Oh, that sucks because I love them both.
Well, I think it's going to bite Devin in the ass, but I'm getting way ahead of myself here.
I'm okay with, as long as Ron, I don't know. I'm okay. You know, they're getting rid of some of the players that are meh to me, and like we're left with good people. So I'm like kind of excited as to how this post-merge is going to shake out.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan is in a good spot without Devin now, so I wouldn't worry about Ryan, you know?
Yeah, it's true, but I think Devin has ties to Ashley now, and then you loop in Chrissy and maybe JP. There could be a triangle with JP and Devin and Ashley.
Oh boy, that's a power
But
trio. That's
that's
what
a
that
power
is.
trio.
That's a power
I could
trio.
do without JP. Hopefully he gets voted out before the merge. Um,
Well, yeah, we'll get to predictions and then we'll get to think
right.
about how that's going to
Okay.
shake out. But
Yeah, okay.
let's talk a little bit more about Ryan. I just don't. I sorry, not just don't. I not just like his tribal council or his decision. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just that, but he did
Okay.
such a good job. The way he handled, like, okay, he sucked at that challenge, right? He was terrible, like
Yeah.
awful,
I
like
felt
just
bad for
awful.
him.
You
Yeah.
can't you can't make the same mistake 3 times in a row. It's like, come
Mm-hmm.
on, man, come on. But I mean, the way,
There's not much of him there, you know? Like he's
yeah,
little.
but you can't let it roll down the hill from the top.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. I
just
got you. Yeah.
the farther up the hill you get when you let it roll down, it's going to roll down farther. It's
What
just
if you could bite
terrible.
that ball and just hold on to it, get a grip on it somehow?
Yeah, just terrible.
Yeah.
Anyways, but that being said, his performance in managing that perception of him afterwards was like, I mean, it was textbook, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He did a really,
Basically,
really
he
good job.
immediately goes to his strengths and starts making people laugh,
Yeah.
and just
His
amazing.
social game, which is what he was talking about, which was so good. And for some reason, Rob and Steven were laughing. Oh, social game, that's so laughable. Like, shut up. He has a social game. He was not in trouble for that challenge. Whereas go to Chrissy, after her bad performance in the challenge, she was in trouble.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know that they were laughing at that he has a social game. I think they find it funny that how it's referred to as a social game, and really all he's doing is
is
like
talking to people.
is talking to people and making people laugh. And it's
Yeah.
like, but that's what's so funny about social game is like if someone has good social game, you can't even see it as a game because
Yeah.
it draws you in so naturally.
You
Like,
believe it.
yeah, it's just you're drawn into it. So it's not really like
Mm-hmm.
a game at all. It's just people connecting.
Right.
So, but to Ryan, it is social game.
Mm-hmm.
He goes into confessional and explains exactly what he's doing.
Right.
That this is my strength, and I love what he says about how like everyone has failures in Survivor. You just don't
Mm-hmm.
want to fail by getting voted out.
Yeah.
And that's such a good way to put it. That you're going to fail at some challenges, but you just have to. That part doesn't matter. It's how you like bounce back from that. And
Mm-hmm.
he uses his understanding of social game to sort of, yeah, no one cares that he screwed up the challenge. Granted, immunity challenge, maybe it's different. What do you think? Do you think it would be different if it was the immunity challenge he screwed up, or?
I don't know. Some people are really bummed out when they lose a reward. Like I would have been really bummed out at losing coffee. Um,
Yeah,
so
but
I would have been upset after that, but I wouldn't have blamed him. I just would have been mopey. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um,
I would have blamed him, but
on the inside, I would have blamed him. I
but
wouldn't have let it show.
if he makes me laugh and stuff, I guess I could
That's
forget
the thing.
about
If
it.
he's that kind of person, then you're just gonna forget that he sucks at or sucked at one challenge. I don't know if he'll suck at all of them. They made him sit out the immunity challenge after that.
I'm not sure who said this, but Ryan goes like, what does he say? He's something like, well, I'm pretty sure I didn't do anything in the challenge either, based on
Oh,
Chrissy's remark. But then
yeah.
like somebody says, what did she say? She's like, that's so funny. And like like in a deadpan, like he's like, I don't think I didn't do anything in the challenge either. Or there's an argument to be made that I didn't do anything in the challenge either. And then you hear somebody go, that's so funny. And
That sounds like a Roarke thing.
I think it might have been Roarke. It was like, if it's so funny, you should just like laugh at it. Or maybe she was just being like sarcastic, like, I'm not buying Ryan's like bullshit shtick,
Yeah, well, Roarke, according to Roarke, had an amazing social game too.
According to Roarke.
According to Roarke.
Who did she tell that to? Rob?
I thought it was the confessional. She said that, and then when Probst was asking her if she was comfortable at Tribal Council, and she's like, "Yeah, I feel good. I feel like I trust the bond that I've made." And I'm like,
yeah, I thought she said she felt about the same as she did going in.
Maybe. I don't remember.
which is
Whatever.
not great or not bad, but not bad. Definitely not bad. She was blindsided.
Right.
She was definitely
I
blindsided.
feel like maybe that was her first tribal council. So maybe she just didn't know how to act. But I feel like there's some people who need to bone up on how to behave at tribal council.
I mean, Ryan has it down.
Ryan has it down.
It's basically like being a politician. You just like you never give direct answers. You
Right.
always put a spin on things. Like you always spin them positively, so it doesn't offend any particular person.
Right. Exactly.
And that's how you handle, like, that's the like ground rules, like the base level rules. But eventually you run into situations where you can't get around it. You have to like come out with other stuff, but
Oh yeah, I think there will be tribal councils down the road, where a live tribal council perhaps, where things get crazy, but there was no need for some of the behavior that was there at tribal council in this one. So they're learning. They'll figure it out.
Is there anyone who excuse me, anyone who hasn't been to tribal council yet?
Yeah, Cole, Jess, and Mike.
Cole, Jess, and Mike. And I don't think they're even going to have to go.
I don't think so either. I think they're going to be fine until the merge. They've got a strong tribe.
And that's something interesting that Chrissy said too, is she really had that understanding of how valuable it is to go to tribal council. Because you had that confessional where she said, I can't trust anybody right now, but I think I need to go there to further my game. Meaning like, if I don't go to tribal council now, I have no idea where I stand. But once I do, then I know where I stand, and now I can plan ahead.
Right.
You can't really plan ahead you can't build your house on a weak foundation,
No, and basically in what he did, Ryan, I mean, I know they say you can't do people favors and expect anything in return on Survivor, but if anyone owes Ryan something, it's Chrissy. So
yeah, definitely.
Twice, perhaps.
Because he's the swing, and he could have sent her home, no problem.
And he sent her that idol.
I wonder how. I mean, Chrissy has to be perfectly well aware of that, right? That Ryan is obviously normally aligned with Allie, and this time he went with them. So
yeah, no, it's gonna, especially if he and Allie fight, then
it's gonna be very obvious.
It's gonna be very obvious. I was gonna say, even though that's in the preview for next week, like tonight or last night at the beginning, I thought Ashley handled the post-tribal council, fireside thing very well with Joe. She like complimented him and was like, wow, that was crazy.
Talking about Ashley, right?
Yeah, talking about Ashley.
Yeah.
And that was that. And then next week, it looks like there's going to be a lot more drama, which is good for the viewers. That's what we want. But I'm just comparing the two reactions, and one is better than the other, but we'll see how that pays off, I guess.
Yeah, Ashley took it much more in the sense of like, oh, it's a game, and that was crazy good gameplay. I like the comment that I didn't know you were crazy. Well, she's like, I knew you were crazy, but I didn't know you were crazy and smart.
Yeah.
But that just points out, how big of a threat Joe really is. I mean, now Joe is well aware, like, okay, everyone perceives me as a threat now,
Yeah.
So he's got his work cut out for him. He's gonna have to like sort of swing his way through the rest of the game, because he's gonna be on the hit list for the rest of the game, I feel like.
Yeah, and now they're down to 5 healers, which another reason I thought it was a no-brainer to take Roarke out, because it was like, you're really gonna let six healers stay in the game and whittle the heroes down to 3? You could use them. Like, I don't get what she's thinking.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Anything to say about Devin and Ashley and what's going on in that tribe?
Not really. I mean, it makes sense. If they can make the merge, they'll be a strong pair. So that's probably what he's looking for. But I don't know if it's a good decision to say they'll go to Rocks, because chances are, I mean, I know they'll think about this and discuss this, but one side votes for Joe, one side votes for Ashley. That means the people drawing Rocks are Devin and Desi.
Right. Right, and I do think. Don't you think that that's where things are headed next week? Is this tribe is gonna have to figure
Ew.
things out? No,
I think they're good. I think they're making the merge.
all of them.
Yeah, I think we have one more episode and then it's the merge.
So you think Ryan's tribe is going again?
Or Cole leaves. Or Cole's tribe
Oh,
goes because he is not competing to his ability. I don't know.
that's a good point. If he can't compete, okay. So I think we're getting into prediction territory.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Well, that's fine. I have nothing else to say about the
Okay.
episode.
Okay.
If that's okay with you, you got anything
Yeah,
else you
that's
want to talk
fine.
about? Okay.
No, no, no.
So let's get into predictions then,
Well,
since
so you
that's
want to do
where.
MVPs first?
Let's do predictions first, since that's where
Oh,
things are naturally going.
okay.
We're kind of already there talking about tribe situations, who we think is going to go to tribal. Um, so yeah, let's talk this out a little bit. So if
Okay.
Cole is sick and he can't perform and has to sit out or whatever, and so they lose, who do they send home on that tribe?
Ooh,
Lauren,
probably
or
Lauren.
who's the other one? Like the other odd one
Ben, they're
out?
not going to send Ben home, I don't think.
I don't think so either. I think they like Ben. Although, as much as we're talking about Ben winner edit, maybe it is like a, Ben. I don't think Ben's right in the head out here. There could be an element of that. Like Ben's struggling out here. We might have to send him home. I doubt it.
Maybe. I don't think
I'm just
so.
throwing that possibility out there.
Yeah.
Doubtful. Could happen. Otherwise, yeah, I think Lauren is who they
Okay.
would go for, right? Or would Jess be like, Cole has been wrecking my game, let's cut him loose? Is that possible?
I don't know. Well, they have that soundbite of her saying, "I'm not ready to play this game without Cole."
Oh, that was this episode.
That was a preview for next week.
Oh, for next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she sounds like she wants him around.
Maybe she's just being nice.
Yeah, I guess I could see Cole being the one to go to. Maybe it's like sort of a decision that's made because he's not feeling well. It's like maybe even it's one of those situations where he's like, "Listen, guys, vote for me. I can't stay around.
That's
I
kind of
can't."
what Garrett did.
Yeah, he might do that because he just feels so shitty.
Yeah.
So I could see Cole. I could see Lauren. That's about it. I mean, I don't think Ben. We mentioned the Ben possibility, but I don't see that as being as likely. Okay, so let's talk about the Blue Tribe. I think Desi would probably go home in that tribe.
I would say that too, but that's based on edit, is all that's based on. They're really building up the Ashley and Devin thing. So I don't know, and Desi's nowhere to be seen. They say they need Desi, but they don't ask Desi about it. So
Desi was naked in the ocean. I mean,
she was. Why
so
wouldn't you be?
she can
trying
be
to take a bath.
seen. She can be seen naked in the ocean, but not.
But they didn't get her perspective.
Right. Other than that, nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be seen.
Yes. Well, she was good in the challenges. Other than that.
Right. No, she was great in that first part with her face.
Yeah, she basically won it for them.
Face was immediately covered in sand and just rocking it out.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here.
You're really taking your time trying to think of a prediction.
Oh, I just wanted to talk it through. I thought it made sense.
Oh, okay.
I thought if we were already talking about that, we could talk it through and then lead into our predictions.
I see.
Yeah. So I see a situation though where Devin and Ashley are tight, and Desi and Joe aren't really that tight. They just they don't get along that well. I get the feeling. So it's like, which one is going to turn on the other? I feel like I could totally see Joe be like, let's just make this easy. I don't care about Desi. Will you guys vote with me to get Desi out? They'll probably be like, yeah, sure. So they vote for Desi.
Because rocks are scary, and no one actually wants to go rocks.
And I think I could see Joe making that cutthroat move, no problem. But Desi might question it, whether it's a good idea or not.
True.
So that's why I think Desi might go from there. And then, so the other tribe, what's going on over there? Ryan, Chrissy, JP. I mean, it's a no-brainer. JP.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably right. I worry a little about Allie, but
I don't worry about her.
Okay. Then I shall trust you and say it's going to be JP if that tribe goes. That'd be fine. Then you'd be left with a hero, healer, hustler. And that'd be good. No, you'd be left with two hustlers and a hero. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Whoa, going down a wormhole here.
Yeah, so go ahead and make your prediction then.
I predict Cole is going to go home.
Cole, okay.
One way or another, I will it into existence, and it shall be.
Okay.
I hope he's not really.
I might go ahead. I'm gonna either say Desi or JP. It's just like which one.
Well, we got rid of a girl tonight, so it'd be nice to keep things even. Get rid of a guy.
A guy. Okay, I'll say JP then.
There you go. JP or Cole, we will not cry for either.
I don't know. There's like
good fortune.
There's like a weird part of me that's like starting to like JP. I don't know.
He's like a fun.
He's he's growing on me.
Yeah.
Like not as like he's obviously not a Survivor narrator.
No.
But he just seems like
narrator.
He just seems like a chill guy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You just can't help but like guys like that are just
part of me thinks they'd never get rid of him because he's so freaking easy to manipulate, whereas Allie is really smart.
He seems really easygoing and grounded. And
all you have to do is say, hey, JP, Girls Alliance. Bam, he's on your side. He's going to do what you want him to do.
The piece of meat dangling in front of his face. But yeah, that's a good point. So I don't know. Maybe my pick is stupid, but...
well, none of us know. We didn't get it right last week. I forgot what I even said.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with it. JP.
I think I said Joe.
So let's talk about MVPs.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Lauren on this one.
Just for like calling out Cole.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was my favorite part of the episode.
Nice. Okay. I'm trying to think. Did Chrissy do anything in this episode that just like really turned the tide in her favor? Like, or was it just Ryan's decision and he was going to side with her anyways if it came down to this kind of situation?
I know she put in work, but I feel like that decision was always going to lay with Ryan, and it did.
Yeah. I don't know how much credit I can give to Chrissy. Yeah. So, and
she kind of stayed in spite of herself.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. So being that I like everything Ryan did in this episode, and I don't hate his decision, he's just got a challenge ahead of him to calm Allie down and to explain himself. That's going to be a challenge, but if he can manage to do it and maintain both allies, it's a freaking home run. So I give the MVP to Ryan.
Okay, it's a good choice. It's a very good choice.
I think so
I like it.
Okay, so
solid choice.
Anything else you want to talk about from the episode?
No, I wish we could kind of jump ahead to the merge, but one more.
Were there any Foo Fighters songs?
No, I think we were Foo free on this one.
Okay, so no Foo Fighters references that I missed.
It was just a one-time thing.
Sorry about that last week if we were like too heavy-handed with the Foo Fighters stuff, because like I didn't know it was coming. I didn't think anyone was listening to the Foo Fighters. Like, I just didn't think anyone would get that. I thought it would be like a secret. And then CBS comes out and makes like a huge deal out of it, like makes a Facebook post with a video edited with all the songs. And I'm like, okay, apparently this was a huge thing and everybody was supposed to see it. They were going to tell everybody about it. And to me, that kind of ruined it a little bit.
It did take away a little bit of the luster, didn't it? And Probst apparently tweeted about it earlier in the day. And I don't, follow Probst. I mean, maybe we actually follow him, but I don't look at his account like every day to see what he's tweeting about. But so if you were looking at Probst's Twitter account, you knew there was Foo Fighters references coming. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I thought I was so smart. I was like, you just said Monkey Wrench.
I just feel, kind of dumb that we thought we were special or something. And then, so did we talk on the podcast about how Dave Grohl and Jeff Probst are friends, or that came after, right?
Apparently that's a thing, that they are good friends and they go on vacations together. And I was telling you that if we ever encountered them on a beach, like the two of them together,
why does it have to be on a beach? because
they go on vacation together, and it would also be like Survivor.
Yeah, it'd be like, I'm casting my vote for Dave Grohl tonight.
How would you ever do that?
What, you'd vote out Probst over Grohl?
I don't know what I would do. That's what I'm saying. If I encountered one, it would be terrible. If I encounter both, I think I would just like go into some type of paralysis.
Like Troy from Community when he meets LeVar Burton. Lamar Burton?
LeVar Burton.
LeVar Burton. Yeah, that's his name.
Meeting Rainbow.
Yeah, so felt kind of stupid that we made such a big deal.
We didn't have all the inside info what was going down. We just watched it. We heard Foo Fighters references, and like Foo Fighters plus Survivor are like two of our favoriteest things in the world. So to have them together is such a jarring but glorious thing.
Yeah, it was very unexpected. I think if I talked to any of my buddies who are Foo Fighters fans and said like, because all my buddies, I can't think of one of them that likes Survivor, but like, if I was like, did you know Survivor like referenced like 6 Foo Fighters songs in a challenge on the show? I think it would blow their minds a little bit.
It's not something you would expect.
So yeah, it was kind of cool. But what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, I just wanted to, I don't know if we comment back on this yet, but I just wanted to apologize if I spoiled anything for anyone. So with the thumbnails, like I pick pictures out. I basically capture them off of the video, like for the episode. So I already had it in my head that I was gonna get a picture of Devin, because I just remember thinking like, God, that dude looks so majestic in this episode. Like he's.
May I say the thumbnail you did pick, though it was clearly a picture at Tribal Council, was stunning.
Yeah, like here's the thing. I had in my head I was gonna get a Devin picture, and I was like cycling through, and there were a lot of ones where he was on the beach like talking to Ashley and shit like that. But like there was just, I couldn't get it to like freeze at the right time where he wasn't like, he didn't have like a stupid expression on his face. But I kind of like had it in my head that, oh yeah, at Tribal there's like a close up on him where he looks crazy majestic. And I was like, I'm just gonna roll the dice and use this. I was like, I know this is probably not kosher. But last time I did this, yeah, go ahead.
Can I just say something in your defense? Before this episode aired, we knew a swap was coming. So if you saw the picture before you saw the episode, the only thing that was spoiled for you was that Devin went to Tribal Council. The 13 other people, who knows where they are. But I mean, we won't do it in the future, but I'm just saying it didn't give that much away.
Granted, at the moment you see how the tribes are split, you're like, okay, that's Devin's tribe. That's who goes to Tribal Council.
Okay, fair point.
So I get that. But I just didn't care at the moment because I liked the picture. I did do this once with David Wright as well. Like I got a picture of David Wright, and it was in Tribal Council. So I know I get how it's frowned upon. It could spoil it for somebody. So I apologize. I think I will refrain from doing that. But I just wanted to explain myself why I did it. But
he's a beautiful man, and that is a beautiful picture of him.
That's basically what it came down to, sadly. I'm the one who picks the pictures. So but yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Who is the commenter that commented on that? Russell Green. Shout out to Russell Green. Sorry about that. But thanks for calling us out, because maybe we ruined it for somebody. I don't know.
Hope
possible. Not. Yeah. Any other thoughts on the episode or anything at all?
No, I think that's it.
When does Stranger Things drop?
Tomorrow.
Like what? Like midnight tonight?
In like 4 hours.
So I'm getting it at midnight then.
Yes. If you're awake and stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely awake at midnight. Yeah, so we're gonna attempt to podcast on the season 2 of Stranger Things, so we'll see how that goes.
Should be pretty doable. It's just 9 episodes.
Yeah, should be doable. So watch out for that. Otherwise, we'll be back next week to podcast about episode 6 of
That's right.
Survivor Heroes, Healers, Hustlers. And that'll do it for this episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. You can find us on Twitter at TV is our real mom. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, comment, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.